We've all been there. It's elementary school lunchtime. You unzip your Pokemon or Barbie lunchbox, and inside sits the real prize, a brightly colored juice pouch or bottle that instantly made you the coolest kid at the table. You might have had a slightly soggy sandwich, a questionable snack, and maybe a mystery temperature cheese stick. But that juice? That was gold. Back then, these lunchbox juices felt like liquid superpowers. But little did we know, some of them were more like liquid grenades for our health. And honestly, we're lucky our childhood immune systems were built different. Today, we're diving into the classic school juices that almost killed us, nutritionally, chemically, and possibly physically, because those pouches were dangerous in more ways than one. And trust me, the worst offender is coming later, and nobody ever expects it. Welcome back to KamikazeFood. If you love food nostalgia and finding out what we survived as kids, tap subscribe so you never miss a deep dive like this. Let's start with the king of recess hydration chaos, Capri Sun. Nothing reminds us of childhood struggle like trying to stab that tiny little yellow straw into a slippery silver pouch. You had two options: poke the hole perfectly or rupture the pouch like you were performing emergency surgery in a moving school bus. But here's the truly wild part. Capri Sun has had multiple mold scares over the years. Yes, actual mold floating like little alien blobs in your juice. One of the most famous recalls happened when parents started finding weird fungus chunks in the bottom of the pouch, like some kind of horror smoothie. Capri Sun's defense? Natural mold happens when juice is exposed to air. Translation: your childhood drink could have fermented into a science experiment at any time. Cheers! Then we had Sunny D, the legendary orange beverage? It wasn't juice, it wasn't milk, it wasn't sports drink. Sunny D was mysterious orange rocket fuel with the consistency of juice and the personality of a radioactive battery fluid. It was marketed as orange juice with extra vitamins, but really, it had more in common with Tang and a glow stick. True story, in the UK, a little girl turned yellow from drinking too much Sunny D. Yes, yellow. That's not a joke, that's documented. Imagine drinking juice so intense it literally alters your skin tone. Sunny D wasn't a drink, it was a lifestyle. And by lifestyle, we mean questionable life choices. And how could we forget Hi-C Ecto Cooler? If you had this in your lunchbox, you automatically had weekend sleepovers and played Nintendo after school. It was neon green, tasted like sugar mixed with melted popsicles, and had Slimer from Ghostbusters right on the box. It was everywhere in the 90s. Recess, field trips, soccer practice, but let's be real, no fruit in nature is that color. Ecto Cooler was basically battery acid in a juice box with cartoon approval. But wow, was it worth it. Meanwhile, Kool-Aid bursts were for kids who wanted to feel like mad scientists. Twist the little plastic top off, drink a blast of sugar water, and spend the rest of the day vibrating like a malfunctioning robot. Those bottles looked like they were designed by someone who thought children should train for military missions by practicing cap-twisting dexterity. Parents brought Kool-Aid bursts because they were cheap. Kids drank them because they tasted like fruit had a neon rave party. And if you froze them, peak childhood. Now let's talk about Hawaiian Punch, the red drink that permanently stained every carpet in America. Hawaiian Punch didn't just spill, it claimed territory. One drop and your shirt was dyed forever. But the crazy part? For decades it advertised itself as containing 7 natural fruit juices, even though most of the fruit flavors were, let's just say, interpretive. Hawaiian Punch had so much sugar, it practically hummed with energy in the bottle. And that mascot, Punchy, that guy was unhinged. He'd walk up to people, ask if they wanted a Hawaiian Punch, and then, boom, punch them. Violence and sugar, the unofficial kids' diet of the 90s. If your parents were trying to be healthy, maybe you got Juicy Juice. 100% juice, no added sugar, but still loaded with natural sugar because fruit juice, folks. Juicy Juice was the clean-cut kid of lunch drinks. Nobody ever traded snacks for it, but your parents felt responsible. And nutritionally, Honestly, Juicy Juice might have been the only thing in your lunchbox that wasn't plotting against you. But now we arrive at the final boss of childhood juice danger. The one that didn't just assault your pancreas, it was physically hazardous. The one, the only, the Hug Barrel, aka Little Hug's Fruit Barrels. Those tiny plastic grenade-shaped drinks that came in colors not legally found in nature. Blue, purple, nuclear red, liquid candy disguised as hydration. They cost like 10 cents each, and the flavor was fruit-ish, but the real danger, trying to rip off that foil seal. If you did it right, you felt like a genius. If you did it wrong, you'd slice your finger, spill neon syrup on yourself, and then somehow still drink it because waste not, want not. Scientists will probably discover one day that Hug Barrels were just thinner Capri Suns in solid form. Now, here's the twist. Despite the sugar, the dyes, the mystery ingredients, and the mold surprises, most of us turned out okay. Mostly. Maybe a little shaky, maybe our childhood hyperactivity could power a city, but we survived. These drinks weren't just beverages, they were memories, chaos, and pure childhood energy in liquid form. And here's the crazy part. Many of these drinks are coming back. Nostalgia food marketing is huge, and companies know that millennials, now adults, will buy anything that reminds us of being a kid. Ecto Cooler returned. Capri Sun is everywhere again. Sunny D has an energy drink now. Yes, they turned the juice that turned a kid yellow into an energy drink. History repeats itself as bright, sugar-powered chaos. So, what's the verdict? Did these juices almost kill us? Maybe not literally, but they sure weren't the health boost the commercials promised. And yet, if someone handed us a cold Capri Sun right now, we'd still poke that straw in and sip with pride. Tell us in the comments, which of these childhood juices did you drink the most, and did you survive the Capri Sun straw battle? And if you enjoy this nostalgic dive into dangerous hydration, smash like, subscribe, and stick with us here on KamikazeFood, where we taste, test, and tell you the truth about the wild foods we grew up with. See you next time, and remember, if your juice glows, maybe don't drink it, or at least shake it first.